How's it going, everyone? Today I'll be using this Groot protection deck to take on the Juggernaut scenario on heroic difficulty. Juggernaut is a scenario I have already beaten for my challenge of defeating every scenario on heroic using a different hero, but I did have a moderate rules error with my Deadpool game where there was a point where I had two player side schemes in play, which should not have been allowed to happen. And now you could go back and look and see, well, if I had discarded the one, it probably wouldn't have made much of a difference. Or if I hadn't played the second one I played, it probably wouldn't have made much of a difference. But I like to, keep it tidy where I can. And, I think Groot is actually a good matchup for this scenario. So it kind of hopefully buttons that up, but also kind of opens up Deadpool again for maybe taking down one of the harder scenarios that I have yet to come in my challenge. And the reason, Groot matches up with Juggernaut so well is because Juggernaut is a very damage pressuring scenario, and Groot, throughout the course of the game, can stack up these growth counters, which effectively represent extra health. We have the hero form Forced Interrupt. When Groot would take any amount of damage, remove that many growth counters from him. So very, very survivable. As I talked about in the Juggernaut breakdown back in the Deadpool video, almost all of Juggernaut's identity-specific events or encounter cards are just more attacks or more sources of damage. And then, you could say the same for the standard set, like lots of extra activations. Schemes end up being extra attacks because of how the main scheme works in the Juggernaut scenario. So as long as we can survive all of those, we should do pretty well. And so I think with Groot here, playing as many ways to get tough statuses as we can, as we talked about it as well, Juggernaut starts with the helmet that gives him stalwart and gives his attacks overkill, so tough statuses are really the best way to survive that. I think between putting a bunch of tough statuses in our deck and Groot building up the growth counters to prevent damage, I think Groot should be survivable enough to do well in this scenario. Groot is one of the weaker heroes in the game overall, but really when the scenario is only really pressuring us in this one area, which Groot does do well in, I think we'll have a fair battle on our hands. So like I said, a lot of cards here are just ways to get as many tough statuses as I can. Shake It Off is an obvious one. After a Guardian character takes any amount of damage from an attack, give that character a tough status card. A couple copies of Come Get Me Bub, nice way to heal and get a tough status. It's guaranteed basically to get us a Creeping Willow. Creeping Willow, quick strikes for 1. If it hits us, it stuns us, but as long as we've got at least 1 growth counter on Groot, we basically absorb that quick strike. We don't get stunned. So really a pretty mild minion that we will draw most of the time when we want to play Come Get Me Bub. In the allies, a lot of the same allies as the Deadpool game. Polaris, Luke, Cage for some tough allies. I think I straight up just forgot about Patriot for that game, but Patriot gets a lot of tough statuses, and there's enough minions where he will get additional tough statuses throughout this game. Rocket's just too good not to play. He clears the Creeping Willows really well. Snowguard for some thwarting. Snowguard plus Med Team is often the best way to get consistent thwarting value in protection. There are some side schemes that we do need to make sure we can clear in 1 or 2 turns to feel good. And then Martyr, another one I kind of forgot about, but she can get a lot of tough statuses as well. If she's the one to defeat a minion like a Creeping Willow, then she gets a tough status after taking consequential damage from the attack. So can represent a lot of tough statuses throughout the game. 3 Energy Barrier, this is a bit of a weird one maybe because if we're trying to prevent damage, tough always gets first priority. Then the Forced Interrupt of Groot is going to prevent damage by removing growth counters. Only then, if there's any damage left, can we actually use Energy Barrier. So I'm not 100% sure that this is correct to play. It's a 2-cost card, so it gives me extra justification for the power of protection. It does protect me in Alter Ego form. We have plenty of ways that we can take damage in this game in Alter Ego form, so it honestly does just the normal good thing there. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Same can be said for Shake It Off, kind of, because we do have to take damage from an attack in order to get it tough. Well, if we're already tough, or if we're just taking the attack into our growth counters, then maybe we don't get that opportunity. So it might be a little bit of awkwardness, but we'll see how it goes. Hidden Base, of course, I was playing this in the last match as well. Just very efficient way to stack up tough statuses on Groot. Pairs very well against Juggernaut, who can attack us even in alter ego form. So getting that tough status as we flip down is really nice to have. Endurance, just a few staples here. Endurance, Helicarrier. Deft Focus is very good for Groot. And Face the Pass is maybe not the best. Fernax is a little bit beefy of a minion, but with Patriot getting a tough status and with Rocket just shredding minions like crazy, Martyr gets paid off for defeating a minion, I think it just barely makes the cut. Another just fun thing to call out, we've got the wood versus wood matchup here. Groot versus the Creeping Willows, who have the wood trait. I think they're like animated trees or something, I don't exactly know. That's kind of an amusing part of the matchup here. So really looking forward to this one. Yeah, Groot, one of the weaker heroes that you might not consider able to win on heroic difficulty, but hoping to show here that, you pick the right matchup, you can make a really, really fun game out of it. So I'm not going to do the Juggernaut breakdown because I did that in the previous video. If you want to see my thoughts on Juggernaut, feel free to check that out. But otherwise, let's dive into this game. All right, starting things off, we've got Hope Summers under our control. We've attached Juggernaut's helmet to him. We resolve his when revealed, place 1 momentum counter here. If Juggernaut exposes and play flip it, otherwise give Juggernaut a tough status. So we've already given him his tough. What's going on here? All right, 1 threat on the main scheme. So opening hand, a bit of the strategy here is I'm almost certainly going to stay in alter ego form turn 1. There's just no setup pressure. I mean, yeah, we could maybe thwart for 1 on the main scheme. But if we were to flip to hero form, right, we could thwart an attack is really the only thing we gain. But there's like basically no hero actions that we need to do, like events. The one exception is We Are Groot. We Are Groot is just so strong that I would flip to hero form to play that. But if I can take an opportunity to get an extra hand size, then I'll do it. So we'll ponder the opening hand as I shuffle the encounter deck. I'm going to keep Lashing Vine. No, sorry, not Lashing Vines. Okay, sorry. I thought that was the one that gave me +2 thwart for a second. I really don't like much of anything here. I might just keep the Power of Protection in case I draw a 2-cost protection card. Probably don't keep both of them. That would be kind of unexpected to draw. Have both of them go to use. But I could draw like Luke or Martyr. Obviously don't need to keep Come Get Me Bub. Fruition don't need to keep. Doesn't help us get set up at all, which is what I want to take these first 2 turns to do. All right, so I'm keeping one of these for sure. Last second to think if I want to keep another one. I think no, like especially if I draw another double resource, that's going to be too many resources in hand, so we'll keep one of them. Mulligan 5. All right, well, we did draw We Are Groot and have a pretty bad hand overall, so I am going to flip to hero form this turn, I think. Let's start with 2 growth counters. Also, I mean, this is honestly just an atrocious hand. I could just stay down and keep We Are Groot in hand for next turn. Only meaningful play I have is Deft Focus. Makes me wish I'd kept a couple of these just for something to do, but really wanted to find Fertile Ground or Hidden Base. Because I can just fire off a Root Stomp for 4 damage, but that doesn't do me too much good. I think I probably still flip just to do more stuff. Pay 1 for Deft Focus. Flip to hero form. Pay... Nope. Let's just attack for 2, knock off the tough. Okay, instead of Root Stomp, I could flip the helmet, which obviously doesn't do that much. Effectively just removes the counter. But to be completely honest, 5 damage at this point in the game means basically nothing, and that 1 momentum counter could mean something. So I know this is kind of weird, but I'm actually going to spend 3 physical resources to flip the helmet and remove each momentum counter from Juggernaut. I did start my attack before I decided all that. I will still attack there with Groot. We are Groot, so remove 2 growth counters, give Hope a tough, give Groot a tough. Hope will, I mean, it's tempting to attack, especially since it's buffed from the mental. Okay, let's just attack for 3. Even if we get Siderax Explorer, that won't pop this right now. So I'm just going to attack for 3. Maybe I'm contradicting myself with not playing the Root Stomp, but oh well. So pretty lackluster turn 1. At least we got something in play. At least we're pretty safe for this turn. But would have liked to get something stronger going. 1 threat on the main scheme. Juggernaut attacks. I will take it onto my own tough. 3 plus a boost of 1. Knocks off the tough. 2 encounter cards. Flatten. Either take damage equal to Juggernaut's attack or place 1 momentum counter on him. I am going to take 3 because his attack is pretty small right now, so I'll just take 3. Under fire. Breakthrough, so either discard the highest cost upgrade or support or take damage equal to his attack. So I can just take 3 again, which isn't that bad. I just look forward to the turn. Probably just playing one of these 4-cost allies for the turn. Flipping down and recovering. I don't need the deft focus right away. I'll just take 3 damage. Under fire number 2. Black Tom, that's pretty bad. When revealed, we search up a Creeping Willow and put it into play engaged with you. It is going to quick strike. And unfortunately, I don't have any growth counters. So I will take 1 and get stunned. I could defend here, but I'd really rather just recover. I can go a while without needing to attack. And then it's back to us. So under fire really hurt there. Imagine just not having either of these in play. We would be looking really nice. All right, Martyr is probably the play. Especially because it can kill something right away. Let's pay 4 for Martyr. Hope attacks Creeping Willow for 2. Martyr attacks Creeping Willow for 2 to finish it off. After Martyr takes consequential damage from performing an attack, if that attack defeated an enemy, give her a tough status card. Flip down. Recover for 4. Get 2 growth counters. And end the turn. Okay. 1 threat on the main scheme for step 1. Juggernaut schemes for 1 plus a boost of 0. It's kind of nice. After scheming, we put a momentum counter on him and flip this card. Black Tom schemes for 1 plus a boost of 3, so that will pop the main scheme. Juggernaut gets a momentum counter and attacks for 5. Let's have probably Martyr block this one. Yeah, let's have Martyr block. 5 plus a boost of deal 1 damage to an ally you control. Holy cow, that's bad. So hope we'll lose her tough so that Martyr doesn't just die. That is quite bad. All right, 2 encounter cards. Creeping Willow. Siderax Exemplar is going to Insight 1 and then put 5 threat on the main scheme since that is Juggernaut's attack. So 6 threat there on the main scheme. Let's put 2 growth counters on up to 4. And probably going to root stomp someone. Guess it has to be the Creeping Willow. Could actually root stomp both of them, but that's not enough to kill Black Tom. So I'd probably just play Helicarrier, Fruition, and a root stomp. Yep, I don't mind that. All right, Fruition for 2 growth counters, up to 6. Pay 3 for Helicarrier. Flip, remove my stun. Helicarrier plus Deft Focus to root stomp Creeping Willow. Since it defeats that enemy, we'll put 1 growth counter on Groot up to 7. Hope will attack Black Tom for 2. And we'll end the turn with no tough statuses, so this could be rough. We do have a whole lot of growth counters, but we'll lose those all basically in step 1. Still no fertile ground. Oh, and that's gonna pop right away. Sorry, if I'd seen that, okay, there's absolutely no way I wouldn't have. I'm gonna give myself this. I'm gonna take back my attack for 2, and we're gonna say that Hope thwarted for 1. I didn't realize that was gonna pop right away. So 1 threat on the main scheme in step 1. Juggernaut is gonna attack. No reason really to defend this one versus a second one. Well, I mean, because some of the encounter cards don't really give me a choice to defend, so I guess I would rather just defend this for 3. So 5 plus a boost of 3 is 8. Defend it for 3 down to 5. Remove 5 growth counters down to 2. Black Tom attacks, and yeah, for 1 plus a boost of 3 is 4, so I'll take 2 growth counters, 2 damage. 2 encounter cards. Gang up. I'm gonna scoop. Just miserable, absolutely miserable start. Super unlucky. Let's try again. So considering all the things that went wrong there, wasn't actually that far behind. But like the first turn was atrocious. We only got Deft Focus in play for development. We got the Underfire, which flipped into Black Tom, who was one of the worst cards to see there. We got the Trample as a boost, which knocked the Tough off of one of my allies, taking away a block of an attack. And then obviously Gang Up after not being able to take Black Tom out. Really stinks. So whole lot went wrong there. So not nearly enough to cast judgment on Groot here yet, but I think Groot is still feasible to do this in my mind, but hard to say from that game since we got so unlucky. Well, we got both power protection once again, and with someone to use them on, Luke. So I think those are going to be keeps. I did get another double this time, though. There's nothing else to use that on quite yet. So I think I keep these for sure. Don't need to keep vine spikes. Oop, let's reset my hit points. Because if I keep this, basically it would let me play an additional 3-cost card. I'm just going to hope I don't draw another double resource, because that would be terrible. Maybe I'm supposed to mulligan it, just to try to draw something else relevant. What are my 3-cost cards I would care to play? Probably just my allies. Polaris. Rocket, probably not, because I don't want to flip to hero form. Patriot would be really good. Because like even if I get another 2-cost card, I would need to get a 2-cost card plus like fruition for that to be relevant. So I'm actually going to mulligan the double. I guess technically I should mulligan one of these instead of energy. Let's mulligan 3. Okay, so I can definitely still play Luke. Let's get 2 growth counters. I could play Deft Focus and Entangling Vines, but only if I go to hero form. I'm going to be kind of disciplined here. I think I actually don't care enough about the Entangling Vines, at least right now, to want to do that. So I'm going to spend 1 for Deft Focus, but I'm going to stay in Alter Ego form for the hand size. I'm going to keep this in hand, though, because it is a really important card, I think, for me to play on the first deck pass. So we'll end the turn. All right, 1 threat on the main scheme in step 1. Juggernaut schemes for 1 plus a boost of 0. 2 encounter cards. Trample, take 2 indirect damage. Yeah, no reason not just to take that both on Groot. Really wish I could play Shake It Off there, but I'm not a Guardian in Alter Ego form. Breakthrough, take damage equal to Juggernaut's attack or discard the highest cost upgrade or support you control. I will happily take 4 damage. So already off to a much, much better start. I mean, that's basically the start we had last game, except we didn't get a second card from Underfire, and I have a Luke instead of just Deft Focus and Luke. So let's put 2 growth counters on, recover for 4, up to 8. Then, what do we got here? Patriot, Entangling Vines, 1 resource left over. So I could just like keep Shake It Off in hand. Keep a Vine Shield in hand as something to play with Deft Focus next turn. Shake It Off looks pretty decent here because I'm going to flip, take an attack for 4 plus a boost. It's assuming I draw a boost of at least 1, it's going to deal me some amount of damage, making Shake It Off live. I think I go to hero form for sure. Or you know what? How badly do we even need to go to hero form here? This is going to go up to 4, 5 plus a boost, which has a decent chance to pop it, but not guaranteed. I'm not doing anything that requires me to be in hero form yet. Eight health is kind of an awkward number, because if this does pop, he'll go up to 5 and attack. If I got a boost of 3, I would die. So I'll flip up. Then, yeah, the question is just what to save if I do want to save something. Vine Shield's kind of nice. Helps on the survivability front. But I mean, Shake It Off, make the same case. I think I'm going to keep Shake It Off. Although, how many more superpowers would I actually be happy to play this deck pass? Man, 6 defenses, even for Juggernaut, might be kind of overkill. I'm going to keep Shake It Off. So we'll pay 3 for Patriot. Deft Focus for Entangling Vines. Let's have Patriot and Hope both thwart for 1. This way, Siderax Exemplar does not pop the main scheme. No, yes it does. 2, 3, plus 4. I think I'll still do it. I mean, attacking just isn't worth a ton yet. I'd rather take as little pressure as I can. End the turn. Of course, I just draw a Shake It Off there. 1 threat on the main scheme. Juggernaut attacks. So I suppose I just need to look at the hand and see what I want to play. So if I play Shake It Off, only other thing I could play is probably Energy Barrier. If I don't Shake It Off, I could play Helicarrier, I Am Groot. I Am Groot's going to be pretty weak though, if not completely useless. So I think Shake It Off looks good here. So I'm just going to take this attack for 4 plus a boost of 2, block 4 with growth counters, take 2, and pay 1 to Shake It Off. Getting a tough status. Two encounter cards. Siderax Exemplar is going to pop the main scheme. 1 momentum counter. And he attacks. I probably have Luke block this one. I want to be able to start attacking with Luke as well. So attack for 5 plus a boost of You Are Stunned. Luke loses the tough. Another Siderax Exemplar. This is going to put 6 threat on the main scheme because Juggernaut's attack is 5. Okay. Still looking all right. I will pay 2 for the Energy Barrier. Not the best turn of all time, but can't complain. We'll have Hope thwart for 1, just so we don't pop it immediately. I think I'm not gonna activate Patriot. I could make it so that he needs at least 1 boost to pop it. But I'll just sit with Patriot. Flip down, recover for 4. Just gotta stay alive. Get 2 growth counters and end the turn. Creeping Willow would be a nice draw here with Patriot. All right, finally got Fertile Ground. Yeah, nice potential turn upcoming. 1 threat on the main scheme, step 1. Juggernaut schemes for 1. Punished there. Boost to 0, but still enough to pop it. He goes up to 3 momentum counters and attacks. We'll just take this on the tough. So 6 plus a boost of 0 on the tough. 2 encounter cards. Hey, nice. Creeping Willow. Patriot gets a tough. And Building Momentum. 3 threat side scheme. Okay. No extremely efficient way to deal with that. Let's get 2 growth counters up to 4. I'm actually at full health, so Come Get Me Above isn't going to do anything. Let's pay 1 for Fertile Ground and activate. Place 1 growth counter on Groot up to 5 and draw a card. How about a double resource? Nope. Let's go to hero form. So with the remaining hand here, I could play Martyr efficiently. I think that's probably what I do. Yeah, this works out really well. Pay 4 for Martyr. Luke and Martyr attack Creeping Willow. After Martyr takes out Creeping Willow, she gets a tough. Groot thwarts Building Momentum, Exhaust, Entangling Vines, go down to 4 growth counters to give this +3. So that clears Building Momentum. And Hope will attack the tough off of Juggernaut, because why not? All right, end the turn. 2 tough allies makes me feel pretty good. Got 4 growth counters myself, just in case some bad stuff happens. As a quick reminder, this is a forced interrupt, so I do have to use these before I can spend any energy barrier counters. I drew that double. I was excited to maybe flip the helmet this turn, but with I drew no other mentals and no other triples, no other 3 of a kind, so probably not doing that. 1 threat on in step 1. When Juggernaut attacks, let's have Patriot block. 6 plus a boost of take 1 indirect damage. I'll just take it on a growth counter. Down to 3. Patriot loses tough. 2 encounter cards. Captive Hope. Exhausts Hope. 3 threat side scheme. Black Tom Cassidy. So Patriot will get a tough. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for 1 copy of Creeping Willow. Put it into play engaged with you. So I'm going to get the one from the discard because Creeping Willow is a pretty safe card to draw from the encounter deck overall. It is going to quick strike me. It'll be prevented by a growth counter. And I'm already stunned, just in case that it blocks a stun, but for what it's worth. All right, can I clear both of these? So after Martyr takes consequential damage from performing an attack, if that attack defeated an enemy, give her a tough status card. So does this tough prevent that? I think yes, because she doesn't actually take consequential damage, because it prevents that damage. Because Root Stomp is kind of overkill for Creeping Willow. And then I can't finish off Black Tom. With the hand, yeah, resources work out well. Oh, I'm actually full on allies, so playing Snow Guard actually doesn't make sense. But I could play Root Stomp and Med Team. So, ooh, but then I don't clear Captive Hope. All right, exhaust to remove my stun. Yeah, there's just no way. Short of like playing Snow Guard with attack, there's no good way to clear both of these. Okay, well, pay 1 plus Deft Focus to Root Stomp Creeping Willow. Defeats it, I get a growth counter. Up to 3. Luke attacks Black Tom for 2. This would have been a really good hand to spend 3 resources to flip the helmet. Flip down 2 growth counters up to 5. Fertile Ground up to 6, plus draw a card. Oh, Fruition's kind of nice. Sure enough, there's my 3 of the same resource. But this is a hero action, so can't do that anymore. But we'll just play Fruition, go up to 8, play Med Team for 3. Med Team plus Martyr is incredibly slow, but pretty good value. And I want to just keep Martyr because of that tough status. Maybe I should have played Hanger Bay in this deck. Nah, bit of a luxury play. End the turn. There's our hidden base finally. Alright, this is a sweet looking turn potentially. I've still got too many allies though, so maybe I can't really play Rocket. Alright, 1 threat on the main scheme. Juggernaut schemes for 1 plus a boost of 1 plus give him a tough status. So that is a scheme for 2 up to 4. Black Tom schemes for 1 plus a boost of 3. Unfortunately pops it. Juggernaut goes up to 4 momentum counters, 7 attack. He's going to attack. I guess I could make the same case for either Martyr or Patriot, because they both want to spend their tough so that they can get tough back. It's a matter of still 2 Creeping Willows in the deck, plus Shadow of the Past. Let's have Patriot block. So 7 plus a boost of 2 hits the tough. Oh, sorry. Hope shouldn't have readied. Oh, step 1 should have put an extra threat on, but it still wouldn't have popped on Juggernaut because he only put it up to 4, so it should have been at 5. Black Tom puts 4 on up to 9. Yeah. All right, 2 encounter cards. Flatten. Either take damage equal to Juggernaut's attack or place a momentum counter on him. Well, I will happily place a momentum counter on him at this point, since I'm flipping that helmet very soon, probably this turn. Under fire. A sound thrashing. Each copy of Creeping Willow attacks. If you were not attacked this way, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy of Creeping Willow and reveal it. So same logic as before, we'll get the discard pile 1. Does not quick strike because we're an alter ego. Patriot gets a tough. Under fire card number 2. Gang up surges into Master Plan, which will add 4 threat to Captive Hope. All right, really nice turn overall, though. I'm actually going to max out on growth counters, which is interesting. So Fertile Ground plus my ability will go up to a max of 10. I actually, this is an 8-sided die, so this will be my 10. Draw from Fertile Ground. Ooh. Well, same problem. I guess I've got 3 guys who could, I've got 3 characters who could take a tough status. Nothing more to do in Alter Ego. Flip with my 10 growth counters. I think I'm not really equipped to kill a Fernax right now. I've got enough going on here, so I'm not going to face the past. If I do 3 to flip, 2 for Hidden Base, 1 for We Are Groot. Is that killing enough people? Black Tom would stay alive, but that's okay. All right, spend 3 physicals, remove every momentum counter, and flip the helmet. Rocket is appealing. I'd have to ditch Luke, but it lets me clear Black Tom. Okay, I actually think I want to play Rocket. Oh, but then I can't play Hidden Base. Maybe I don't need to play Hidden Base right now, though. Pretty well stocked on toughs. Yeah, I'm going to play Rocket. So I'm going to I'm going to have Martyr and Luke take out Creeping Willow. Martyr loses her tough, I know, but I'm going to have so many toughs. I'm going to rule that she does not get a tough back after defeating that Creeping Willow because she did not actually take consequential damage. It's so weird. It's like, did she still take the consequential damage, but she didn't take damage from taking consequential damage? I don't know. Grim rule, she doesn't get it. Pay 3 for Rocket, discarding Luke. I think Luke's probably correct over Martyr. Yeah, Martyr's still going to get lots of tough statuses throughout the game. Rocket attacks and finishes off Black Tom for 4. Deft Focus, We Are Groot. Remove up to 4 growth counters from Groot. Choose that many friendly characters, give each of them a tough status. I will remove the full 4 down to 6. Doctor Strange, eat your heart out. Who's got Rings of Ragador now? 1, 2. Uh-oh, I might not have enough tough stat. Oh no, I've got to go. I only made so many of these little coin ones. Hope just gets a regular old tough. I wasn't sure if I would like them at first, so I only made 5. But maybe I'll make a few more because I've been really liking them. Yep. All right, let's thwart Captive Hope, Entangling Vines, remove a growth counter, thwart for 3. No one to med team yet. Nope, so all right, end the turn. All right, we run through the deck now, so get an encounter card. Same logic again, we'll have Patriot block to start. I think Rocket and Martyr are, well, Rocket especially is unlikely to make use of this tough. He's just going to keep activating, especially with that thwart for 2. Two threat on the main scheme in step 1. Juggernaut attacks. Doesn't actually have overkill this time. Not that I can take advantage of that in any way. Patriot blocks. As a boost ability, deal 1 damage to an ally you control. Should have seen that coming. Well, I'm actually going to hit Rocket for that same reason I mentioned, though. Because he's probably was just going to activate on it anyways. I guess I could make a similar case for Martyr. Now if I get a minion, she might get that tough back sooner. I'm still going to do it on Rocket. All right, Rocket took the damage. 2 more encounter cards. Creeping Willow. Okay, so I really don't want that to hit off my tough. So what am I going to do about that? I mean, oh, and Patriot, okay. Patriot loses his tough from that attack. He's going to get it back. Could be a Rocket block. I can take out Creeping Willow with I Am Groot. Yeah, I'm going to have a Rocket block. So Rocket takes 1. The rocket is stunned. Card number 2, Ground Pound. The players as a group take indirect damage equal to Juggernaut's attack. So that is going to be 3 indirect damage. I am going to assign all 3 to Hope. Yep, and then that will knock off her Tough. Third card, Making Green. Each copy of Creeping Willow gains Surge plus a hazard icon. So I amusingly have an option to play I Am Groot here, the threat removal one. Whoops, sorry, Hope still can't ready. I don't think I've used her improperly though. Focus 2/3 for I Am Groot. I don't need to kill the Creeping Willow right now, actually, yeah, because it's gonna have 0 scheme. All right, so 1, 2, 3 for I Am Groot. We'll clear off Making Green. I am going to have Groot thwart Captive Hope, use Tangling Vines, spend a growth counter to thwart this for 3. I am going to have Martyr thwart Captive Hope for 1 to finish it off. She'll lose her Tough, but I've still got 2 Tough statuses out. This gets Hope back in action for next turn. I think this is worth it. Flip down. 2 counters on up to 6. Fertile Ground up to 7. Pay 1 for Endurance. Endurance kind of, I guess I can put it like here. 3 hit points. I guess Fruition actually, I mean, might as well play it, I suppose, but I'm gonna max out here pretty soon. Up to 9 growth counters. Let's Med Team Rocket, heal 2, and then the turn. Haven't actually dealt any damage to Juggernaut yet, but that can all change very soon. And as always, it's about surviving first, winning second. One threat on the main scheme up to 3. Juggernaut schemes for 1 plus a boost of 1. He gets a momentum counter and we flip the helmet back. Creeping Willow schemes for 0. Encounter cards, Siderax Exemplar. So the Insight 1 is going to put 1 on up to 6. Then, oh, I hope I didn't resolve. The last time I resolved a Siderax Exemplar, the helmet was still on helmet side. I forgot that if it's exposed, this actually has the effect of flipping the helmet. No, I don't think that's happened. So the Insight 1 puts 1 on, then we put 4 on, so that's going to pop it. Gets a second momentum counter and attacks. Kinda, well, I guess somewhere, there's actually one Creeping Willow left. It's block with Patriot again. So 5 plus a boost of You Are Stunned. There's the Creeping Willow. Loses the Tough. Yep, okay. Second encounter card, Wilt. You may flip to Alter Ego form, I'm already there. Either remove 3 growth counters from Groot or exhaust. Actually, I'll remove 3 growth counters because I'm going to hit my max and waste a couple. So I'm going to go from 9 down to 6, and this just gets discarded in that case. If no growth counters were removed, it gains Surge, but we removed 3. All right, yep, we are just cooking. So Fertile Ground plus ability will go back up to 9. Draw a card. Yeah, Nowhere might have been nice here, actually, even just for the extra ally slot. Maybe a bit too much of a luxury thing again. Okay, well, the hand just works out to flip the helmet again with not much else going on, so I think I'll plan to do that. We'll flip. Just exhaust to remove my stun. Let's pay energy to remove momentum counters and flip the helmet. Rocket will remove his stun. Hope attacks Creeping Willow for 2. Martyr attacks Creeping Willow for 2 and finishes it off. Martyr takes consequential damage, gets a tough. Then let's pay 3 for Helicarrier. I'll save Med Team. I could heal Martyr, but not really a rush. And then the turn. Okay, pretty underwhelming hand overall. 1 threat on the main scheme. Juggernaut attacks. Let's have Martyr block. 3 plus a boost of 2, no ability. So 1 encounter card gets dealt. We run through the deck. Main scheme gets an acceleration. See if I can try to wrap it up more quickly here now that we're heavily advantaged. Basically no way to die. Once we get some I am Groot exclamation points, or all, I guess I should say all caps. I think they both have an exclamation point. Like that's 10 damage from a single attack. I guess 9 right now, technically. That will end things fairly quickly. These energy barriers definitely look awkward. I'm not sure they were right to include. All right, second encounter card. Advance. Going to be a scheme for 1 plus 0. Put a momentum counter on Juggernaut. Flip the helmet. Maybe I just flip it again this turn. Shadow of the Past. Gets Fernax. Patriot gets tough. Blazing Inferno, and it shuffles in 3 cards that'll basically deal us 2 indirect damage. So they've got, Fernax, 6 health. After Fernax activates, deal 2 indirect damage to each player. Blazing Inferno, 3 threat side scheme. After the villain phase begins, deal 2 indirect damage to each player. So tons and tons of indirect damage. But we've got them both cleared pretty easily. All right. Groot, thwart Blazing Inferno, exhaust Entangling Vines, clear it. Hope attacks Fernax for 2, Rocket attacks Fernax for 4. Legitimately nothing to play in hero form, so let's flip down. Get our 2 growth counters up to 10. Fertile Ground for Hidden Base, probably? Nope, Root Stomp. Hidden Base would have been something I could play, so tried to speak it into existence. Well, we'll still play 2 for Energy Barrier. Could not be using it, but it's there. I would like to keep a Root Stomp in hand. I just want to further my damage at this point. I'll keep the double as well, but I will discard Shake It Off, end of turn, and end the turn. I could have flipped the helmet, but it would flip right back, so I don't think there's that much use to it. Two threat on the main scheme up to 4. Juggernaut schemes for 1 plus a boost of 1 plus take 1 indirect damage. So this gets up to 6. Gonna have Hope take the indirect damage to keep my tough. 2 encounter cards. Making Green, Creeping Willow. Fertile Ground to draw a card. Oh, there's a Hidden Base. Am I crazy to not even want to We Are Groot this turn? No, I don't think it's crazy at all. Oh, sorry. This Creeping Willow has Surge because of the Making Green. So I technically don't have this in hand yet, but all right, next encounter card. Another Creeping Willow, which will surge into another Creeping Willow, which will surge into Fan the Flames, and we'll take 2 indirect damage. Okay, so I should really, since I'm making a decision, I should shuffle Hidden Base in, since I shouldn't be able to have that piece of information as I make this decision. And I do believe Hidden Base would be one of the better cards for me to draw there, so I do think it is strictly worse for me. Let's do it on Patriot. 2 indirect damage onto Patriot. That was a fun little order of encounter cards there. It's going to stall me out a bit more, which is annoying, but not actually a threat. All right, now we'll Fertile Ground to draw a much worse card, so got punished there. Med Team to heal Martyr for 2. Patriot and Martyr take out one of these Creeping Willows. Martyr gets a tough. Rocket takes out a Creeping Willow, overkills 1 damage onto Juggernaut, knocking off a tough. I flip to hero form. Am I okay? I'm going to rewind. Rocket is not going to kill this Creeping Willow. I need Rocket to thwart. So Groot is going to thwart, exhausting Entangling Vines, removing a counter. For 3 on making green, Hope thwarts the final 1. Rocket thwarts for 2 on the main scheme, so it doesn't pop on step 1. Pay 2, Root Stomp a Creeping Willow, get up to 10 growth counters. Helicarrier, Deft Focus, Root Stomp a Creeping Willow. Three physicals to flip the helmet, remove a momentum counter. We are Groot. I could have ordered this a little bit better. Just say it lets me use my energy barriers faster. We'll remove 3 down to 7. 3 growth counters for Hope, Patriot, and Rocket. End the turn. Well, couldn't progress the win at all there, but that'll happen when you draw 5 encounter cards. All right, 2 threat on the main scheme up to 6. Juggernaut attacks. Patriot blocks. Boost ability, give Juggernaut tough status. He's already got one. 2 encounter cards. Under fire. Number 1 is Master Plan. Gets us to building momentum. Under fire number 2. Trample. Juggernaut attacks the ally with the fewest remaining hit points. So that's going to be against my choice of Rocket or Patriot. So we're going to say that he's attacking Rocket. No boost ability. Rocket loses tough. Third card, Breakthrough. Take damage equal to Juggernaut's attack or discard the highest cost upgrade or support. I will take damage equal to his attack, which removes my tough. All right, now I can start to push a lot of damage. Fruition for 2 growth counters up to 9. Med Team, heal Rocket for 2. Groot will still thwart. Exhausting Entangling Vines, removing a growth counter to clear building momentum. Martyr will attack Juggernaut, knocking off the tough. Hope will attack for 3 because buffed by Juggernaut exposed. So we finally did our first real damage into Juggernaut. Rocket will thwart for 2. Def Focus, Helicarrier, I am Groot. Order slightly wrong, but okay. 8 damage to Juggernaut down to 10. Power Protection for Hidden Base. And do I even flip down here? Yeah, I do. Flip down. Hidden Base gives me a tough. Fertile Ground to draw. Might not have anything to play. I kind of like keeping Face the Past. I don't think I'll keep Energy Barrier, though. Action to get 2 growth counters back up to 10, and the turn. I hope this isn't too mind-numbingly boring if you're still watching. We've basically got no way to die, but just gotta wait to actually win. Draw through the deck, get an encounter card. I mean, Groot's got a lot of attacks to finish it off, though. All caps, I am Groot. And Root Stomp, 3 of those. Lots of cards out of the deck, helping us go through them faster. Two threat on the main scheme in step 1. Juggernaut schemes for 1 plus a boost of 2 to pop it. Okay, what's the order here? So this is a forced interrupt of when this would be completed. So step 2 of this is to flip Juggernaut exposed. So we don't place a momentum counter on it from here, but we do place it on from here. So it only ends up with 1, not 2. Juggernaut attacks. I will just take it. 4 plus a boost of 2 hits the tough. 2 more encounter cards. Trample, take 2 indirect damage. I'll happily... Ooh, yes, excellent. I will take the 2 myself and Energy Barrier both of it back to Juggernaut. Excellent. Fan the Flames, same thing. Double Energy Barrier. A Sound Thrashing, search up a Creeping Willow. Patriot gets a tough. I do like the Creeping Willow set overall. I think it plays out in an interesting way. And then it's back to us. Fertile Ground to draw. Flip to hero form. I think I'd rather just get the damage boost out of Rocket than get the tough value out of Martyr. So Rocket will attack Creeping Willow for 4, overkills 1. Let's pay 3 mentals to flip the helmet. Hope attacks for 3. We're gonna get retaliate. No, are we? Okay, I don't know the exact text of Head of Steam. I don't know if Head of Steam flips the helmet. Oh, I think Juggernaut flips the helmet himself, actually. Yeah. Okay, I'll just have Groot attack for 2. So this is defeated. When revealed, search up Head of Steam and reveal it. We reveal it. When revealed, attach it and place 1 momentum counter on Juggernaut. If Juggernaut exposed is in play, flip it. Otherwise, give Juggernaut a tough status card. Okay, I guess I should have just waited to flip it, I suppose, but just trying to go as fast as possible at this point. Comes in on 25. And now he has retaliate 1, so I will lose 1 growth counter. We've got Def Focus Helicarrier for all caps I am Groot. Will deal 9 damage to Juggernaut. Actually, before I do this, I'm just gonna flip the helmet again. Nothing else matters here. Spend 3 physicals to flip the helmet. Lose that momentum counter. Pay these 2 for I am Groot. 9 damage down to 16. Martyr attacks for 2. Patriot attacks for 2. Hopefully this puts it in kill range for next turn. No retaliate, of course, because now he's got no momentum counters on him. And end the turn. Discarding I am Groot, end of turn. Not a ton more burst in hand, but I might just have it, I haven't counted up here yet, but might just have it from the board. 2 threat on the main scheme. Juggernaut attacks for 4. Actually doesn't have overkill right now, so blocking with an ally wouldn't be the worst. But that's my damage, because I've got, let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just assume it flips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess technically I could play Snow Guard to attack for 3 would be 12. Root Stomp would be 17. Doesn't count energy barriers, which could matter. I think I will block with Rocket. Unless I could get a Creeping Willow. 1, 2, 3. There's still a Creeping Willow left, so maybe I want to keep Rocket alive. I'm at 9. I'm literally only thinking if I don't somehow win this turn, it feels like a bit of a waste. Maybe I just block with Martyr, because I've still got lethal without her. Do I have lethal without Martyr through a Creeping Willow? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. All right, I'll block with Martyr. No boost ability. 2 encounter cards. There is a Creeping Willow. It will hit off one of my things. Exhaustion. Ooh, that maybe takes it away from me. I haven't, not 100% sure. Surges into Siderax Exemplar. So in expert mode, it gains Insight 1, so it'll put 1 threat on the main scheme. Then, if Juggernaut Exposed is in play, flip it and place 1 momentum counter on Juggernaut. All right, Rocket attacks. Well, okay, sorry. Let's just. My math still okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we got it. Rocket attacks the Creeping Willow for 4. So that's 3 plus 1 overkills. Rocket's taken out. Patriot attacks for 2. Oh, hold on a second. Actually, Patriot should have got a tough status when we drew that Creeping Willow. I'm going to let myself get that. But it doesn't matter, I guess, if Juggernaut has Retaliate. I'm also realizing Hope lost 1 damage because now this is back to flipped. So let me just check one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, not even close. So Patriot will still attack for 2, down to 9. Hope will attack for 2. Retaliate hits off her tough. Helicarrier Deft Focus for Root Stomp for 5 damage, down to 2. Then flip down Fertile Ground to draw. Pay 4 for Snow Guard. We'll give her +3 attack and overkill. And she will attack for 3. Okay, there we go. Kind of a slog at the end there, so sorry about that. But we managed to turtle up pretty well there at the beginning. You know, got a fairly tame, encounter deck, I suppose. Didn't get that early underfire like we did last game. And yeah, just didn't, classic example of no reason to rush damage until we're just like totally ready to survive everything. And just survive. Eventually we hit the We Are Groot for 4 tough statuses. That was maybe the point from which it felt like I couldn't really lose again. And so there we go. Sweet to get a win with Groot. Groot generally considered one of the worst characters, but against the Juggernaut scenario here, he lines up pretty well, being able to prevent a lot of damage with the growth counters, as well as We Are Groot just being a tremendously strong card. Obviously lines up very well against the Creeping Willows. Yep. So, yes, very, still gives me a little chuckle that these guys are wood. Groot's basically wood, so yeah, fun matchup there. Entangling Binds really did a lot of work as well. I used that. I kind of expected to, given this deck build, but yeah, I probably used that like at least 3 times throughout the scenario to clear some of those side schemes. So sweet. All right, I'm gonna call this one good. Like I said, my Deadpool game was mostly good, but so this both gives me another entry that is hopefully rules mistake free for the sake of the challenge, and frees up Deadpool in case I want to use him against some of the harder scenarios coming up that are remaining in my challenge. Quite a few deck changes I would probably make after playing through a whole game like that. I don't know if the energy berries are actually good. I liked them for potentially blocking damage when I was in Alter Ego form and didn't have the growth counter protection. Also, just 2-cost cards helps justify playing the power of protection. So maybe we cut that. Come Get Me, Bub. I mean, for the whole second 2/3 of the game, I was like at full health, so the healing never would have really given me anything. So I don't know. And then we could have gotten maybe Night Nurse in here, maybe Nowhere, some other staple type cards. I don't know. All right, that's what we got for today. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.